Okay, this class is 103, pre-algebra, and it meets on Tuesday and Thursday, 9:55 to 12:05. Okay? My name is Connie Lyons. The best way to contact me is my cell phone, which is on the syllabus. You can also email me, and you'll get a response from me through email, but not quite as quick as if you text me or call me. If you call, make sure and leave a voicemail, because sometimes I'm in an area like this where there's not service, and it won't show missed calls, so if you want me to call you back, make sure you leave a voicemail for me, or leave me a text, because those come through later. Okay, my office hours are right here, Monday through Thursday, 9:40 to 9:55. This is like before class, and after my other class. And I'll either be in this room or room 103, which is where my other class is, or in my office in the Success Center. It's a little closed-in, little sectioned off place in the Success Center. So you can find me here, 103, or in the Success Center. Does everybody know where the Success Center is?
I don't know where 103 is.
103 is right above the library, at the end of this hall.
Oh, yeah, I do know, okay, yes,
Yeah,
I do know.
right down there. Okay, I'm not gonna go over all of this little junk, you can read it yourself. Okay, the required text is the green one with the feathers. And other things you're gonna need, calculator. Actually, you don't have to have a big fancy scientific thing. You could just get a regular,
The green one with the feathers? This is what they gave me.
are you in 103 or 114? Look at your schedule and make sure you're in the right class. I didn't call your name, did I? I bet you your class is Monday. Yeah, it's the green one. So I bet you're in 114. Yeah, just a regular calculator is just fine. You'll probably want to make sure it has square root, but even like the dollar calculators usually even have square root on them. So, a calculator, you can check one out. The lady in this office here, in room 124, her or her tutors can check them out to you just for one semester, and it doesn't cost anything. So you don't even have to go buy one. Okay, what else? Graph paper, which you won't need till like about halfway through the semester. So you don't have to worry about getting that right away. You need to either make or buy multiplication, division, add, subtract flashcards. It's just as well to make them, because when you buy them, there's a whole bunch of them that you don't need. So just, if you were in my class before, you've already got some probably. Okay, 2-inch binder, 1.5 to 2-inch binder, a 3-ring binder. To put stuff in, I will hole punch everything so that it can go in your binder. Everything will have holes in it. And you need 5 dividers. And here's what you should label them. This is the order they need to be in, okay? You can't write all this on there, you can just, abbreviate it. But that's what goes in that section. Okay. That's enough from that page. The grading scale is pretty much normal. How much everything counts in this class. The final exam is 20%. as it is in all my classes and most people's, but that's what it is. The final is 20. Your unit exams, you'll have 6 of them, and they're 60% of your grade. So the unit exams and your final are 80% of your grade. So the other 20% is 10 and 10. You have 10 for homework and 10 for your portfolio. So homework is 10% of the grade. It's not a big percent of your grade, but you can't make an A without doing it. Okay? So there's the 10% of grade. The homework is usually self-graded. I give you the answers at the beginning of class, you grade it and turn it in to me. Late homework is only accepted with a valid excuse, okay? So if something happens, you know, you need to bring an excuse and attach it to your homework. You can text me and tell me what happened and then bring it in. Okay, the test, 6 of them, you can retake them. They are large percent of your grade, so if you have test anxiety, don't worry about it. Even if you bomb it, you can still, what you gotta do is you have to do corrections on another sheet of paper, not on your test. You do corrections and then give me the test and your corrections back, and I'll let you retake it. Usually in class, you know, at the end, after I've done the lecture, usually you do it in class. But I may send you to Success Center to do it. Okay? There's your rules for retaking. And also it has to be done before. This is bolded right here. That remember you have to take it before you take the next test. So you can't retake it like at the end of the year, retake the first test. You need to take it before or on the day of the second test. The second one before or on the day of the third test, like that. Attendance is mandatory. And I'll show you in a minute a sheet that you keep track of your attendance on. Attendance and participation, it helps, okay? So it explains it here, but I'm going to explain it when we get to the sheet of the daily grade, how to do that. Conduct, as long as you're not rude or anything like that, everybody knows how to act. It looks like you're all well behaved, so if I have any problems with your conduct, I'll take you in the hall and talk to you about it. And here's the syllabus and papers right here. And try to make sure you're clean so you don't, conduct, that's just part of it, try to have good personal hygiene. And what else? Electronic devices. That reminds me, my sound is not off. On your phones, try to remember to turn your sound to vibrate. Turn the sound off, which I have to do right now. Or just turn your phone all the way off or turn it to vibrate so it won't mess anything up. If you have to answer a call or a text, you might just go ahead and step out in the hall to return a text or to answer a call. Not right here by the door because you're still pretty much talking in the class. Go ahead and go around so that you're talking in the hall out there. And that way you're not, you're not in the class anyway if you're on a call or texting. So if you have to, most people should know you're in class and they won't contact you unless it's important. And if they start doing it, let them know, hey, I'm in class, don't try to call me during this time or whatever. But sometimes, there's things that happen with your kids or your work that you have to know and just step out. And other things may come up too. You may need to go to the bathroom. You don't have to ask me, can I go to the bathroom? If you need to go, just take off and go, okay? Alrighty, let me see what else. Misconduct would be like cheating. We don't do any papers where you do plagiarism or anything like that, where you forget to quote something, you know? That's more of an English thing. Unauthorized possession of exams, I let you keep your test because I make tests, but you always give it back to me when you retake. But, so there won't really be any unauthorized possession of exams in this class because you can't keep them. That's part of what you keep in your portfolio. So, you pretty much know what misconduct is. If not, you can read this right here. The ADA, if you have a disability, it says you need to let the instructor know and contact the ADA person downstairs. And actually, if you just let me know, that's good enough, because they're just going to tell me what I need to do to work around your disability. Like, if you need someone to help you take notes or something like that, just let me know. You know, we'll figure something out. Because some people have trouble with either reading stuff or writing stuff. You never know. Don't look at me funny like that. There's some things that people need help with. Okay. And the syllabus may be modified to meet the needs of the class. Like if we have a snow day or something, we may have to change dates. The next page tells you exactly what we're going to do, unless we have snow days and we have to change it. Today, we're covering the introduction, tells you what we're doing in class, and we're doing 1, 2, and 3 in chapter 1. Okay, so this is what we're covering on this day, which this will be due the next class period. So 1.1, 1.2, and 1.3 will be due the next class period. We're going to grade that and cover 4, 5, and 6. This bolded is your extra credit stuff. I just spread it out. You don't actually have to do it the day it's here, but that's the order it comes in the book, and if you want to do it as it comes, you won't be quite as pressured on test day to do it all. So this isn't required to do, that's the extra credit. I had a cold over the break. Okay. Here, the next page, this tells you what your required assignments. The ones in the blocks are required. Okay? So these you have to do. So we're going to do these 3 sections. So you have to do the ones that are blocked in. But if you want extra credit, if you do all of the ones that aren't blocked in addition to the blocked in ones, that's 10 points more towards your grade. So you can get 110 if you do every single problem from here to here. Okay? So if you are running low on time, just do the blocked in ones. You can start out by doing all of them, and then if you see that, oh my goodness, I'm not going to have time to do the extra credit, I'm just going to do the required. And so maybe you did all of them here and all of them here, but you're like, I'm not going to do those 2 because I just don't have time. I'm just going to do the required ones. It's okay if you do part of the extra credit. If you do all but a couple of them, that's okay. I'll show you how to figure it out when we're figuring grades, how much extra credit you'll get. Because you can get 7 or 8 points. You don't have to get the full 10 points, okay? And all these pages are the assignments. Till you get to the daily grade sheet. Get this down where you can see the whole page. Okay, today's the 19th. Attendance, you were here today. So you put a mark there. If you were here by 9:55, when the class started, you put P for punctual.
So what do I put?
Yeah, you were here earlier. You just had to run and get your book. These Q's right here are daily quizzes. They're quizzes that we do during class, so we may stop class, we will. Well, not may, but we will. We'll stop class and we'll do problems just to make sure you got your skills up. Just, you know, like, we'll do flashcards or I'll put problems up to do that, and that's where you'll put marks here. If we do one, you'll put a mark if you were here and you did it. We haven't done one yet, so you shouldn't have any marks there. Every day you come, don't forget to write down that you're here and you're punctual or you're not punctual, whatever. But just tally it for when you're here, okay? This grade, you'll have how many total marks you have out of the total possible. We won't know the total possible till we've been here, okay? Till we've done all of it, and then we'll see how many there really should be that day. And I'll get somebody that's been here every day to count up how many we're supposed to have. This daily grade, yes ma'am?
I noticed there's 3 spots for quizzes. Are we gonna have 3?
Because we can have up to 3.
Okay.
That doesn't mean we'll have 3 every day, but that's just room in case we have that many.
Okay.
Usually I have 1 or 2, but sometimes we get really active and we may have 3 that day, you never know. This grade can replace one of your homework grades. Okay? First of all, the 2 lowest grades are going to be dropped anyway. So if you had something happen and you couldn't finish your homework, or there was a homework that you were having a lot of trouble on, and even though you called people, you know, you still couldn't do good, or something came up and you were in the emergency room all night, you just couldn't get it done. It's okay, because 2 of them will be dropped. Okay, so don't freak out that it's going to mess your grade up if you have a low homework grade. The 2 will be dropped, and then this daily, your attendance and participation grade, this one will replace the 3rd lowest one. Does everybody understand that? 2 will be dropped. It doesn't have to replace it, because if you missed a lot of class but you got all the homework turned in, you may have all your homework is higher than this. I've had where people did so much extra credit that they didn't even need this because they were here every day, but this was maybe 100%, but they had, after their 2 lowest ones were dropped, their lowest grade was 101, so they didn't need it. But that doesn't happen very often. So you may not need it, but it is required to keep track of it. It's part of what I grade when I go through portfolio, is I make sure you have this done. Also, I make sure you have this done, which looks neater than it ever has in the past. I actually have a table. This is where you keep track of your grades. And that way you don't need to ask me what you've made on homework grades or what you've made on tests. This is where you keep track of it. At the very end of the semester, if you want to know exactly what your grade is, you can average it. Your homework is times 0.1, 10% of it, you put that there. Your test grades, you can average it, multiply it by 0.6. Your portfolio grades, average it, multiply it by 0.1. Your final exam grade, multiply it by 0.2. And then if you add all of these, if you add all of the at sign, if you add all of those lines, that would give you your final grade right there. So are there any questions right now? No questions right now? Come on in.
No.
Oh, okay. Okay, so. Let me show you, kids, does somebody have a piece of paper?
Here you go.
Thanks. Do you mind if I write on it? Okay. On your homework, in your margin, there's going to be an answer column. So when you're doing your homework, you're going to write down 1.1. What does the digit 5 mean in each number? You don't have to put the whole problem, but you do need to write down what the problem is. This problem is 235888. Okay. It says, what does the digit 5 mean in this number? What does this digit 5 mean? What does it stand for? It stands for 5. You could say that its value is 5,000, but it means there's 5,000s, okay? And since this is too long to put in the answer column, you can say C work if it's real long. Don't do that on every single problem though, okay? Just when they're long. This is required, so go ahead and lock it in. Because you don't count extra credit against you on your grades, okay? Number 2, you can either put it here or go down. You can make 2 columns going like this, or you can just keep going back and forth. It doesn't matter to me which way you do this, okay? Number 2, 253, 777. What does the 5 mean in that number? It means 5, 10 dash. No, it doesn't. I'm sorry. I thought the 10 had a dash on it. 10 thousands. Okay? That's another C work. Number 3 is extra credit, so circle it. So if you ended up missing that, it wouldn't count against you. Okay? So the 5 in this one means what? 500s, right? Instead of having to write that every time, you can put the little marks like that. Okay, now, number 6 says, bring it up here. It's a question 10 millions, okay? Look up here, it says box office receipts on the opening weekend of Shrek the Third were this number. So let's write that number down. 121, 629, 270. So how do we say that? 121,629,270, right? Okay. So what does it say? What digit names the number of 10 millions? Okay, here we got hundreds, thousands, millions. Which one is your 10 millions? The 2. That answer can actually go over here. You can put it in both places, or you can just put it here. It's up to you, okay? But make sure you have it over here. The 7 is extra credit. Oh, we were supposed to put what the question was. The question was 10 millions. Okay. That way, if you look back over your homework, you'll know what the answer went to. You'll know what it answered. Because this didn't tell you what the question was. Okay, 7. What is your 10s? In that number, what's your 10s? Huh? The 7 is that. The 10s is right here. So 7. Is everybody understanding this? Okay. If you forgot the place values, there should be a place value chart on page 2, right here. Okay? I know it's not clear up there, but you can look in your book on page 2. Okay. Let me just go over, that's how to do the homework. Now I'm gonna do lecture stuff. Oh, one more thing. This is 1.1. When you change and start doing 1.2, label it 1.2, okay? And 1.3 the same. After you've done all of your homework, you need to fold it. And on this side, you're gonna put your name and the date, the class, which is 103, CCDM 103, and the assignment. This assignment is 1.1, 1.2, and 1.3. You don't have to put this on every page, just the last page, okay? That way when I turn it back to you, it'll just have your name showing on it, so I give it back to you. And your grade, Kevin, your grade, I want you to put inside here. Not on the outside. Your grade is actually confidential, okay? Even if you don't care if people see it, your grade should be on the inside. The percentage, whatever your percentage is, should be inside here. Okay? To figure out your grade, I'm going to tell you now just where it'll be on the tape. In case you forget, you can go back and watch the tape. Okay, if you missed, let's say you missed 3 out of, let's say, 33. Okay, the way to figure that out is you subtract what you missed from the total to get how many you got right. So you do 33 minus 3, you have 30 right, out of 33. This means to divide it. So what you do is you take a calculator. Yes, you can use a calculator, but not for everything. Okay. You take 30 and then divide it by 33. So you go 30 divided by 33, and you got a 90.9. The first 3 numbers give you your average. 90.9, you're going to round that to 91. Okay, from 0.5 on, you'll round up. So this would actually be a 91, not an 88. So you would put your average there. You don't have to put that it was a 90.5. You don't have to put that. Just put the rounded percentage, and then you turn it in. You don't put it on the outside. Okay? And I look it over and make sure that you've shown all your work. On this, there's not a lot of work to show. Eventually, there will be problems where you have to show the multiplication or show how you solved the problem and stuff like that. And I put little notes on it like good job or neat work, and some people do all pretty colors and stuff, and I'm like, oh, how cool, look at that, you know. So, you know, I look at it and I make sure you did everything and put comments on it. And I write down in my grade book what your grade was, and you write down what your grade was on this last page right here. After you do that, you would put your grade right there. Okay? If I give it back to you and I've changed it, like sometimes I'll say, no, you counted too much off, and I change it to a higher grade. If I change it, then you can go back and change this, okay? Okay, so now we're going to finish covering 1.1 and 2 and 3, and then you'll be able to start your homework. Actually, why don't we go ahead and just take a break, and then we'll come back to doing that, because we've been lecturing for a while and we need to kind of wake up. So let's take a break.
I'll let you take a break.
On homework?
Yeah, I got a lot of this stuff.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah.
Yeah, it should be real simple.